We all know he's kind of a fan of protectionism, which is poison for international trade, of course. And the situation, the closer look on the situation here in Europe is also quite concerning because there's so many economies still in trouble. So one thing is for sure, there's a lot of work for the G20 here in Frankfurt.
Yes, but again, thanks for telling us. You're just sitting around where that meeting is taking place. But again, look at the Dutch voters' elections today. From what you're hearing from these elections, how fluid are things at the moment about who becomes the next prime minister for the Netherlands?
Well, traders and investors here in Frankfurt and, of course, also in Amsterdam are in a kind of a wait-and-see position because, as we all know, there's so many undecided voters in the Netherlands, so polls are much too close to call. But one thing is for sure, what we hear from The Hague is that the right-wing leader Wilders is going to enforce protectionism, which is, of course, for the European Union a disaster. And I talked to an analyst, and he said, well, let's stay cool and go ahead. There won't be an exit, so the Netherlands will stay in the European Union, but nobody really knows. So as you can see, there are a lot of concerns, not only in the Netherlands, also in France. We are shortly before the presidential election in France.
Yeah, but again, on a big day like today for the U.S. Fed, if you look at in terms of the Eurozone manufacturing employment data that is out on the street, what are these numbers telling us about the largest economies within your region?
It's still a mixed picture, I have to say, because the situation on the labor market in Germany is quite okay, is quite good. But let's have a look to France, or to Italy or Spain, and especially in France, the unemployment rate is tremendously high, much too high for the second largest economy in Europe. And the same picture in Spain. Even younger people, even well-educated younger people cannot find a job, and that's what an economy, no matter where in Europe, cannot afford. So data shows quite a mixed picture. Germany is quite okay on the labor market, but in all other economies, as we just heard in Italy, Spain and France, the situation is quite complicated.
Yes, a bit complicated. But again, Olaf, let's take some time off. It's going to be a bit later in the day when Janet Yellen will be speaking. I'm sure it'll be about dinner time in Europe when both of us will be sitting at both ends of the Atlantic and trying to watch things and hear from the FOMC. So tomorrow we're going to have a lot to chew from Janet Yellen and the rest of our team at the FOMC. Do have a great day, and the rest of your team in Frankfurt, DWTV for Channels Television. Look at the Asian market where it's already evening time, and they're going to be saying good morning by the time Janet Yellen, the U.S. Fed, will be speaking as far as the decisions are concerned. The second FOMC meeting in the new year. Ahead of that, the Japanese stock market, the Nikkei 225 was down 0.16% as the yen continued to strengthen against the greenback. Toshiba, which is one of the major components of the Nikkei 225, fell 12.3% to 189.50 yen per share after the Tokyo Stock Exchange posted shares under suspension to see whether the company meets the delisting criteria following the conglomerate's posting on its official third quarter earnings. In Australia, very heavy with mining stocks higher 0.26% at the ASX 200. In South Korea, Kospi closed almost flat 2,133. The Chinese market, the Shanghai Composite, up about 0.1%. In Hong Kong, the market was down about 0.27%. Now let's stick with the region where the Chinese Premier Li Keqiang says the economy will continue to be strong, driven by the force in the face of sluggish global economic recovery. The Premier Li made the remarks at a press conference after the conclusion of the 5th session of the 12th National People's Congress in Beijing. So let's get on with the Treasury bills market. Of course, back at home here, the Nigerian market, where it's been a bullish note on Tuesday. Today is the day the debt office will do a bit of a auction, and of course the Treasury bills. Central Bank is also doing 213.716 billion, quite a lot. Oladipupo Adeoye is a team lead in terms of fixed income at UBA Group, is joining us on the program. Adeoye, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you very much. What's the sentiment in the market today?
Today has been a bit of a mixed sentiment. We've seen slight bullish activity, but it's not in any way sustained. And I think it has to do with the fact that system liquidity is negative at the moment.
Okay, where are we?
The sentiment is mixed.
What's the sentiment around the central bank doing a treasury bills auction, very massive, more than 200 billion?
Yeah, so at the treasury bill auction, we expect yield rates to be around previous levels because we've actually not seen a massive direction in the secondary market today, which is an indication that there are no shocks expected at the primary auction.
Okay, thank you very much. Oladipupo Adeoye from UBA Group. Let's cross over to the currencies market, and quite a lot to talk about the Naira. The central bank is set to intervene further in the market, something around 175 million US dollars. Let's get a sense of this, squeezing that into the Nigerian markets conversation. Babatunde Adama is an FX dealer with Citibank. Talk to us about this, Babatunde. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead. I was just about to ask about this auction today. I'm sure it's something everyone is looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, Central Bank put the amount on offer yesterday and asked bank to send in their bids. And we're all waiting today to get the results so that we can sell the FX to our corporate clients.
Okay, so the auction was yesterday, and we're looking at how that paces out today. In fact, in terms of rates, give us about 30 seconds. Where are we at the moment?
Well, in terms of rates are still sort of stable. Interbank rates are still within 305 or 315. It hasn't changed. Liquidity is still a bit low. So everybody's waiting to get the results of central bank auction to inject a bit of liquidity into the market.
Babatunde Adama from Citibank, we thank you for your time today. Let's come back to you after the break. We have a bit to chew about the Tanzania's banking sector. We will talk to the gentleman from Kenya who has some story for us.